Hi, my name is Bobby Rudl. I'm a movement and massage therapist from the Sacramento, California area, and I'm here today on Sunday, January 18th at the Life Water event here at the Prehab Academy. It's a huge free event where we've had all kinds of amazing speakers sharing all kinds of incredible information to help you live a happier and healthier life. I'm here today to talk to you about something very close to my heart based on my personal experiences. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to talk and share what I love. Okay? Just let it flow like water. Okay? So, a little bit about me. I'm 24 years old. When I was 16, I broke my back in high school playing sports. And after that, I had to go on an entire journey learning how to move again. Because after you break your spine, things don't work the same way. So because of that, I really got into this whole thing of taking care of the body. Before that, I didn't really pay attention to my body, which is why I got hurt in the first place. And the thing is, most of us don't pay attention to our body, what it's really asking for. We just give it what we think it needs and not what it's communicating. So what I'm here today to talk about is a little bit about how to feel into your body, feel what's going on a little bit more, and start giving it what it's actually asking for. Because the thing is, when you look at other cultures and you look into history, ancient civilizations and indigenous tribes all had some form of bodywork as part of their medicine. When you look into Ayurvedic medicine, massage therapy and bodywork and movement is a huge component. When you look into traditional Chinese medicine, same thing. Again, all these different cultures and tribes all understood that working with the body in a hands-on way was very, very important. When you look at our culture today, this is something that's almost been completely rejected. There might be a few little rub and tug places or places where you could get a quick little massage, but that's not really body work. It's not really healing. It's not really what your body's asking for when it's this cookie cutter technique. And so we've kind of gotten away from taking care of ourselves on this fundamental level that was part of human culture. And you can take it outside of just humans too. Look at other animals. Look at how they rub each other. Look at what they do to give each other love. And again, it's a different kind of love than a lot of people give each other. We might sit and meditate. We might eat good food. We might do all these things. But are you taking care of your tissue health and your physical health in this way? You might exercise. But are you doing the things that your body is actually asking for? And it's telling you. The thing is, because of our culture, we forgot how to listen to our body. Okay? We're too busy listening to all these external noises and being drawn into other things. We're too busy dumbing down our senses with different stimulants and depressants. We're too busy ignoring what our body's telling us and pushing through the pain in our training instead of listening to what it's trying to communicate. Your body tells your story. Every cell in your body is speaking. The look on your face, your posture, right? Your complexion, your smile, all these things are communicating your internal state and your state of health. And the thing is, we haven't been paying attention to this as well as we could. So that's what I'm trying to share today a little bit of. And I'm going to share a little bit of my own personal practice as well. So I'm just very grateful to be here, and I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say. I'm going to try to keep it short for you. But here we go. Alright, so one of the things is that, again, we don't really listen to what our body's telling us anymore. We've stopped feeling within ourselves. And one of the things that's very simple, which most people have never even thought about, is just feeling into their posture, okay? Now, posture isn't this thing where we should be trying to stand up straight all the time. It shouldn't be a conscious effort. Posture is what happens automatically. It's how our subconscious body and mind is reacting to circumstances and situations around us. And so we don't want to have to consciously think about our posture. We want our posture to automatically function. Okay? So we want our body to be trained to be able to find its posture in dynamic situations and react to different challenges and movements that we have to do. Posture is dynamic, it's not static. Our body's never still, it's always moving. Okay? And at the same time, it's also really interesting that our posture is set up to fight and resist gravity. That's what our skeletal system is doing. So we have forces of gravity acting upon us, and our body is designed to react to these. And what happens is over time, as we stop paying attention to our body, stop giving it what it needs, it loses these basic functions. So one thing that you can try right now with me is just sink into your body a bit and just feel your posture. What you're going to notice is that certain things might be happening. Like for me, I can feel my low back a little bit on the right side. What happens is if I just exaggerate my posture and just allow myself to sink into it, I end up like this. If I just allow my body to sink. So what's kind of going on with my static postures, I've actually got a little bit of a spinal bend to my right and a little bit of a twist in my spine. Okay, because again, even though we all work on ourselves and everything else, we're doing the best we can. We might not be perfect, and that's totally okay. We get through it. But you can kind of feel in your posture and feel the shape that your body likes to sit in. If you just relax and sink into it, this is the position my body likes. Okay? The reason why is because when I broke my back, I was playing lacrosse. So I was in a position like this and rotated. I got hit over the shoulder, pulled all the muscles in my back, which led to my back injury. So now, because of that, even years later, rehab is an interesting process, and our body doesn't forget what's happened to it. It likes to sink into that posture. Very interesting. Another thing you can do to kind of check in with your body and see how it's doing is this. You were to go ahead and lift your heels. You lift your heels and then drop them. You're going to feel the force travel up your spine. Okay? You're going to feel if one of your heels hits the ground harder than the other, then your weight shifted more to that side than the other. So we might not be standing perfectly in the center. We might be shifted to one side, we might be shifted to the other, these kind of things. And it's just paying attention to our body. But what happens is this posture sets up our movement potential and our capabilities. The better our posture, the better our alignment, the better we can do. And the more we can move. The more our body can be free. When our alignment is good, for example here, we can put force to this. If our alignment's out, where's the force going to go? Okay? Our body is set up to react to these forces as we're moving through time and space. As you walk, your body's set up to react to these forces and travel this force through your body. Okay? So posture is actually really important, but again, a lot of people are approaching it in a way, and instead of trying to subconsciously allow the body to find its ideal posture and work within the space, we're forcing it. What happens when you try to force your posture is you compensate even more. If I just try to stick my chest out, what am I really doing here? Again, look at that. I'm sticking my chest out, but now I'm extending my spine a bit more than is necessary, right? If I'm squeezing my butt to force this posture, it's not allowing my body to actually be free and move the way it should. And that actually takes a lot of energy. So when we force your posture, it can be very draining. Instead, we want to teach the body reflexively how to find a new posture. And that's a big part of what I do. But also, what's really important is to understand that the body is set up to react to situations. So when you go to create a movement, here's how it works. It goes something like this. There's a task to be done. Okay? For example, I want to lift the corner of this table. I lift the table. Now, I'm a fairly strong guy, okay? I could probably throw this table in the air, but I don't. I lift the table. My muscles contract the perfect amount to get the job done. When you go to grab a cup of water, you don't break the cup, even though you're plenty strong enough to squeeze it plenty hard, right? You use just the right amount of force. So one of the things that's really important is to think about creating opportunities for our body to react and move the way it's designed to, instead of forcing movements. We need to learn to allow the movement to flow through us so we can be like water. I have a friend here today who's going to help me for a second with something. If you would come up, please. So this is my little brother. I'm very honored to have him here. He's a pretty fit guy. He's active. He does all kinds of different things. Okay, he does some martial arts. Here's a core place. He likes to do all kinds of different things. He does core exercises. He thinks he's strong. Well, I want to demonstrate something for you. Get up on the table for me. Please. Head up this way. He has a plenty strong core. Okay, I can show you the things he can do. He's incredible. The thing is, though, even with the strong core, that doesn't mean it's necessarily neurologically functioning properly. So this is another aspect of taking care of ourselves. Go ahead and lay down for me. Okay, so what I'm going to ask him to do is to show you that his core might be strong in some ways. So this is easy for him. This is super easy for him. He's a strong guy. He's got a great core. same time though, look how hard this is for us. Because this is a real challenge for the actual abdominal system. See how long you can do this for a second. Okay? If I just apply a light pressure, he can't keep his legs here. They're not going to work because while his core might function in some aspects, doing these fancy moves like that leg lift you just saw, on a reflexive level, which is the most important, when we're reacting to situations, when we're grabbing that cup, when we're walking, his core isn't doing what it's supposed to. And there's a reason why. Now in this case, feeling through his body, you can tell there's a little bit of tightness in the diaphragm. Okay? Now I know this is a little bit subjective in the sense that you can't see the amount of pressure I'm using and everything else, but just go with me. Okay? If I feel into his diaphragm a bit, there's a little bit of tension, especially in this right lobe here. This is what he's using a bit instead of his deeper core that we were asking to fire. So if I just give his body some attention and let it know that this is working for this, go ahead and again. And now watch. First of all, you're having a much easier time holding your legs here. Now when I put the pressure, I'm pushing as hard as I can. You can see me flexing now. I'm flexing my arm as hard as I can. And look at how much he's struggling. He's not struggling at all. He's having an easy time. Okay, now watch this. Take away the signal. Take away the signal and the connection to the nervous system, and his body doesn't know what to do. So there's a disconnect in his fascial system and nervous system. His brain can't pick up how to access this part of the core, but he's too busy using this. So when we connect this here, he figures it out, okay? So now just to show you a little bit of something, okay? So I just did a little neurological technique to reset the diaphragm. Learned this from a good friend of mine. And now I'm just showing the diaphragm a little bit softer. Can you feel that? So the tissue quality's changed. So we made a change in the tissue, we made a change in the nervous system. Now we need to integrate that in. Go ahead and put my legs in. Look how strong he is again. Okay? Now I don't need to hold my hand there. Because his brain's figured out how to access this space without this. Can we go ahead and show that leg lift again? Okay?
I can feel it now. Like after Bobby released the tension, my diaphragm and the disconnection, I can feel muscles in my lower core. I can just feel them in a way that I haven't for a long time.
So look at this guy. It's not that he's out of shape, okay? He's got a core here. But the thing is that we might not be able to access it, okay? And that's really important. There's going to be plenty of strong people who have all different kinds of things going on. He can do pull-ups. He can do muscle-ups. He can do a muscle-up on top of my hand. But check this out. How well does his lat function here? Do you need my pressure here? On this side? He has trouble utilizing his lat muscle. I can just pull that away. The lat should be a prime move of the body. So he's plenty strong. It shouldn't go anywhere. Go ahead one more time. So not so good, because there's a compensation elsewhere in his body affecting that. Okay, so yes, he can do pull-ups. Yes, he's a strong kid. But there's neural disconnect, and the point is that we can be stronger and more connected within our body. Now, why is this important? It's actually really important. Take a seat. It's actually really important because what happens is when we're not using our entire body the way it's designed, we end up using bits and pieces. So you got this big lat muscle here. It's supposed to do all these different things, right? It's supposed to depress, retract, all sorts of functions. It also does synergistic activities, yada, yada, yada. The point is, it might be strong in some functions and not in others. So what if he's only using the top portion of his lat and not the bottom? What's that going to do? Well, in the long run, he's going to develop a lot of tightness in this area. Now, that tightness might not affect too much on a physical movement level. You might get a little bit stiff, maybe it'll cause a little bit of pain here and there. You might be okay. But more importantly, what it's going to do is that tightness in the long run, it's going to turn into scar tissue and arthritis. And we all know what that does. It slows down our movement, it stops us from moving, and everything else. And because this is working differently, all different kinds of things in this body are going to start working differently. It's called the compensation patterns, the compensation chains. These things start running through the body. So now that he's not using this area, he's using more of this. Then when this gets tired, he's going to start using more of something else. All of a sudden, his body's not moving the way it was designed to, and it's much less energy efficient. We're always perfect, okay? Our body is a master compensator, a master adapter. It can get anything done that we ask it to. People hobble around like this, but they still get through their day, okay? You've seen it. But the thing is, that what if I told you you could feel better within your body, have more energy and vitality, have more life? You might be free in here, but don't you want to be free in all of here? Free in all of here, to be able to live your life fully? One thing that's really important is being connected to your body, okay? And that's why it's so important to take care of yourself, feel into yourself, and give yourself the love you need. So again, we don't do body work in our culture anymore. It's totally forgotten. And if we do, it's not quality body work anymore, you know? And there are some good people out there, so I'm just talking on a very general level. Okay, but the point is, we're doing a lot more to take care of ourselves because he can't access certain places within his body. And so what that's going to lead to, again, is tightness and all these things. Well, that tight tissue is going to have a lot of effects on the body as well. You've got something called your central nervous system. We've all heard about the central nervous system. It's the first thing to develop in us, starting with like the spinal cord and the brain and all this and that. It's what allows this electrical current to flow through our body. But there's something more than the central nervous system. There's also the peripheral nervous system, which is equally important. The peripheral nervous system extends from the central nervous system and runs throughout our entire body. It's where the nerves run through the arms, the legs, the organs. What happens when you have tight tissue? These peripheral nerves get pinched on, okay? Now what happens when you pinch a nerve? Doesn't mean that the nerve is going to completely stop functioning, but some of that electric current, some of that signal, some of that communication is going to be stopped. So the body's functioning actually slows down. So instead of just it affecting his muscles, instead of it just affecting the way he's moving, it's affecting his organ health. It's affecting his heart. It's affecting his lungs. It's affecting all kinds of things. It's affecting his body's ability to communicate within itself. So why is it so hard to feel into our body? Why is it so hard to feel what's going on? Because we're blocked. We have these physical blockages in the form of these scar tissues and impinged nerves, things like that, joints out of alignment, all these things. And we all have it. You know why we all have it? Because we live in a world that we're not designed to be in. We didn't evolve to live in this flat environment. We didn't evolve to sit in chairs all the time. We didn't evolve to be in this forward posture. We evolved to move in a dynamic way. Humans are the most powerful creatures on the planet. We have the most movement capability. We have thumbs, we can swim, we can run, we can jump. How many other animals can do the things we can do and adapt the way we can? Did you know that humans can run the longest? We can run for days. Look at the super marathons. No other animals can do that. Humans are incredible and we need to take back our power. And that comes from recognizing that first of all, we're already whole. Second of all, we need to start taking care of ourselves a little bit better. Okay? So again, you might move, you might do this, you might do that, but are you taking care of yourself? Are you giving yourself the treatment it needs? Really ask yourself, are there things that are harder for you than it should? Have you ever been trying to do something or trying to do an activity and you just couldn't get a muscle to work the way it should? You just couldn't get a joint to move the way it should? These things happen to us because we've stopped paying attention to our body. And instead of our culture taking care of our body and everything else, what do we idolize? You already know. So, it's really important to get back to our roots as the physical animals we are and take care of ourselves because that's where we come from and that's what we're here to do. We're here to inhabit our bodies. It's a beautiful life. And when you're within your body, you have so much more freedom to have fun, move, and interact. When you're older, do you want to be able to play on the ground with your kids? This shouldn't be a hard position to get into, okay? We should be able to move around however we want to without much thought process about it. But when we have all these tight areas, we have all these tissue issues, these things are no longer capable to us. I don't want to be the kind of person that when I'm 40 years old or 50 years old, I can't touch my toes, and I can't interact with my kids and animals on the ground. I can't climb a tree or lift a couch to help my friend. Strength gives you more purpose. It allows you to live your passion more fully. Being a stronger and healthier human makes you a better and more useful human at the end of the day. If you're sick, other people have to take care of you. You need to be responsible for yourself. Start taking action for your own health. Seek out the people who can help you take care of yourself better. If you don't know what you need to know, you can learn it somewhere. We have the internet today. There's no excuses anymore to be unhealthy. There's no excuses to not take better care of ourselves. This is the self-love I'm talking about. It's great that we love our personality and we love our friends and our life and this and that, but do you love your body? Do you love your body enough to take care of it, to want to inhabit it and experience it fully? If you do, then why do we exercise the way we do? I'm not saying everyone does, but why do we beat ourselves up over exercise? Everyone I see out there running on the road, they look miserable. Absolutely miserable. Their joints are screaming at them, all these different things. But they've been taught, they think that in order to take care of themselves, that's what it takes. That they have to push really hard, push through this wall, break things down. I can tell you right now that that's completely wrong from my personal experience. That's how I broke my back. I didn't give myself a break. I worked as hard as I could all the time. I didn't listen to what my body was telling me, and it led to horrible injury. We need to listen to ourselves. We need to take a moment, connect within, feel what's going on, and start giving our body what it's actually asking for instead of what it thinks. You don't just need to go to the gym. You don't just need to go for a run. You need to give your body what it's asking for. And in order to do that, you need to learn to feel. There's people out there who can help you with this. I'm one of them. I'd be happy to do so, but there's plenty more. And all you have to do is open up your eyes, look around you, and you'll find them. Bodywork is an incredible aspect of this. So is moving. But the thing is, we need bodywork. We all do. It's the forgotten part of our culture, really. It needs to come back into our culture. Okay? And that's so important. It's what, if you look at ancient China, in every household, there's someone who did some form of bodywork. There's someone who could at least do something to help out. Might not have been the best, but we took care of each other. I grew up rubbing my dad's feet. That's how I got into this stuff. His feet would hurt. I'd rub them. It made them better. It helped. It's just loving each other. It's giving each other the love that we truly need. There's something about touch that's compassionate and helpful. Now, I will say there's other tools too. It's beneficial. I have a few of them with me. I like these things. So this is a foot roller. When we wear a lot of shoes and everything, this really helps out. You don't see his own hand. But we can hold a lot of tension on the feet. I don't necessarily recommend releasing tension in one place without finding out what it's connecting to, because when you release in one place, you have to think we're always in 100% balance. So if you take away 10% in the foot and don't add 10% where it's missing, then you're just going to get that tension back. So it's really important to find a therapist who can help you with this. But a foot roller can really help take care of your feet. This is a MAH roller. M-A-H. M-A-H roller. I know it's intimidating, but it's for your spine. It helps align your spine, okay? This is another great thing to have. This is a lacrosse ball. I told you I played lacrosse, so maybe I'm a fan here. Some people use softballs or tennis balls. I prefer a lacrosse ball. It's the right size, right density. You can really get into different places and work on things. The only thing is, though, that these inanimate objects don't carry that electric current that we do. They don't have that same touch and compassion that we do. This will never begin to compare at all to what another person's hands can do for you, or what your own can do for you. So these are great tools. I try to use them every day, here and there, to help myself and my clients. But we need to learn to take care of ourselves too, and find the people who can take care of us. It really needs to be part of our health practice. We've gotten so far away from it, but remember how I said that the peripheral nervous system is affecting our organs? It's affecting our health. What if I told you your organs would get better, your breathing could change, your digestive system could improve, the constipation that you're suffering or whatever else could go away, your acne could clear up, all through body work, all through corrective, intelligent body work. Now again, this isn't just deep tissue massage or Swedish massage. This is giving the body what it actually needs. There are people out there who know how to do this. I'm one of them. You can find them. Other things that might help. This is a pretty funny thing. It looks just like a sock, right? Well, I have a bunch of little beans in here. What this does is it stimulates your joints and nervous system. I learned this from my good friend Will Partridge. Okay? So it's a nice little vibration through the body. The body really likes it. It also toughens your joints and everything else. It's another great thing you can do to help your body relax. Hit on different places, don't go too hard. And you're basically vibrating the bones, helping the bones move. Because with each breath we take, our bones are supposed to move. They're supposed to expand as we inhale. Feel into this with me. Expand as you inhale. Feeling the space between your bones grow. And then it'll contract as you exhale, sinking back together, relaxing. Inhaling, feeling the expansion in between all your bones. The bones of the skull, the bones of the feet, the bones of the spine. All the bones are supposed to move, but because of this tension and tightness, we've forgotten how to do that. We've forgotten how to feel into this. So that's another great practice to add in. It's learning to feel our bones moving. Because again, we should be free floating. We should be free to move like water. Now there's one more thing I want to share today with you. It has to do a little bit of posture. Okay? If we go ahead and check in with ourselves, can you stand up with me? Let's just do this real quick. Take a little bit of space. So we're going to bring our feet all the way together. And we're going to side bend in each direction. Just see how far you can go. Okay. And now we're going to rotate each way. Now to be honest, I really hope you can see my feet. The camera might be cut off. I really hope you can see my feet. Except for on the mat, hope you can see them. So from here, I want to show you something. We were just side bending and twisting the spine. Okay? Well, what happens if I push my big toe on my right foot into the ground? My spine rotates to the left. If I push my left big toe into the ground, I'll rotate back to center and I keep rotating to the right. What happens if I push the outside edge of my foot into the ground? You get a side bend. So if I push the right side in, I side bend to the left. If I push the left blade down, I side bend to the right. So your foot positioning is completely affecting your posture. So if one foot is toe side down and the other foot is blade side, look at the posture you'll end up here. That's my right foot, toe side down, left foot on its blade. Okay? What if I'm double in? This happens. Double out. Like so. So there's all different kinds of things your body will do based on your foot positioning. So if we can work on changing your foot mechanics a good bit, all the kinds of things in your body are going to change. So, again, our body's set up to resist gravity. That's what our feet want to do. Okay? So just keep in mind that our body is a lot more complex, but a lot more simple than we think. And when we start giving it what it actually needs, instead of what we think it needs, things start changing very quickly. Things can change right here, right now, in this moment, because this moment is all there is. So when you give your body what it needs, it responds quickly. The rehab process doesn't have to take as long as we think it does, but we're too focused on the symptoms and not the causes. Your back hurts, so let's rub your back. Well, maybe your back hurts because you're twisted and bent. And maybe you're twisted and bent because of your foot. Maybe you're twisted and bent because of your knee or your neck. But the thing is, we can't just look at the symptom. We've got to find out the cause. And it's a much more holistic way of looking at the body when we're looking for the cause, because the reality is that everything in your body affects everything. If you have an upset stomach, it's going to affect all your other organs and things, right? If you don't get enough sleep, it affects you in all kinds of ways. If a joint is out of alignment in your wrist, your elbow and shoulder are going to be affected, but everything else as well, as we know. A quick example of that is your hand. If I rotate here, you'll see what happens in his shoulder joint. The whole entire kinetic chain changes. So if we have a rotation in this joint, it affects this joint, extending the kinetic chain, right? If we rotate this way, okay? So So that's something too. We don't pay attention to the rotation within our body. Everyone's doing front, back, sagittal movement. But what about controlling the rotation, which is equally important? We need to be able to rotate and control all these different things. Okay, so I just wanted to share a lot of different stuff. I know this can be a little bit overwhelming, that's why it's on video. You can look through it again. It's a lot of different ideas. The point is, there's a lot of things going on within our body. We need to learn to feel into ourselves, take better care of ourselves, to give ourselves the self-love our body's asking for and craves and really needs. Something that we've forgotten to do as a culture, something that we've forgotten to do as a society. It's time to take back our health. It's time to start giving our body what it's actually asking for. It's time to become more self-reliant. It's time to step back into our power. Okay? This is our year. This is our moment. Every moment is. It's up to you to make these choices. There's people out there who can help you. So there's really no excuses anymore. If you're in pain, find someone. Find someone who can help you. The body's constantly adapting for better or worse. Over time, we adapt into worse positions if that's what we allow and don't pay attention, or we can adapt into better. Okay? I'm not going to tell you it's easy. Nothing's easy in this life, but it's not hard either. You just go with it. You allow it to flow. Okay? It might take a little bit of time based on what you've been through, but you can get better, you can improve right here and right now in this moment. You saw what happened to my brother. We addressed that core issue like that. Okay? There's a lot of different issues in the body though, because we've been neglecting ourselves for so long. And the older you are, the more these things have compounded. The more these issues have built up on top of each other. The more issues we have. Okay? So it's really important to start taking care of ourselves now. It's never too early, it's never too late. If you have a 3-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, it doesn't matter. They need this stuff. If you have a 7-year-old parent, they need this stuff. We all need this stuff. We all need to take care of ourselves and be free to move and live and be happy and share this love with each other. So that's my talk. That's what I have to say about loving ourselves so that we can love each other more fully, love our lives more fully, and love the world more fully. Learn to take care of yourself. Learn to listen to your body. Give it what it's actually asking for, not what we think it's asking for. It will reward you in ways you can't even imagine. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a beautiful facility here in Rockland, California, Free Flow Academy. You can find me at Joyful Warrior Yoga Studio in Fair Oaks. You can also contact me personally. My email address is bobbyRudl@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. It's my name, Bobby Rudl. And I'm happy to share anything I can. Thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you all again soon.